Well, hello and welcome back. Today I have a tiramisu recipe for you. These are some individual tiramisu cups. You could make this as a whole thing instead of doing it individual, or if that's something you're interested in seeing, a full tiramisu instead of individual, I can do that. Just comment below that that's something you're interested in seeing. All right, let's jump into this recipe. So you're going to want to prep your ladyfingers while you're making your filling. So I just placed my ladyfingers in a casserole dish. You can use a 9x13 baking dish, whatever you feel like. And you're just going to pour the espresso over them evenly. And you're going to allow that to soak up. If you don't have espresso, don't worry about it. You can just make some really strong coffee. You're going to need about a cup. Next, you're going to put your egg yolks, your sugar, and your heavy cream into the saucepan, and you're going to whisk them together, and you're going to want to cook that over about medium heat. You're going to want to mix that the entire time because otherwise it will stick and burn. You want to keep mixing until the sugar is completely dissolved and it's thickened, and you will hear and feel the difference when the sugar has started to dissolve, because you will hear the grittiness disappear. Another way you can check it, take a little bit between your fingers and you will feel still the sugar. When it is done, it will also coat the back of the spoon. Kind of like if you're making lemon curd, it coats the back of the spoon. This will coat the back of the spoon. Once it's dissolved and done, you can go ahead, remove that from the heat, and add it to a large mixing bowl to let it cool. In another large bowl, you're going to add your remaining heavy cream and a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and you're going to whip that until they have formed stiff peaks. And you're going to set that aside. Next, you're going to add your mascarpone to the cool custard bowl, and you're going to whisk that together until it's nice and smooth. Please don't forget to smash that like button. It helps support the channel, and also make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any recipes or fun tutorials. And then you're just going to gently fold in your whipped cream until it's nice and combined, so you don't have big streaks in it. But be careful that you don't over mix, because that will take away from the stiff peaks that you just whipped into your heavy cream. And you're going to want to put that into a large piping bag. You can put a large round tip in that, or you can just go ahead and cut it. It really does not make a difference. So one less dish if you don't use the tip. Now it's time to assemble your tiramisu cups. I was using 3-ounce plastic cups. They had little lids that went with them. So for 3-ounce cups, I got 8 tiramisu cups out of the recipe. So you might have to adjust this if you're using a slightly larger or even a smaller cup. You're going to want to take one ladyfinger and break it in half. Then you're going to take that half and you're going to break it in half again. So you have 2 pieces of half a ladyfinger and put it in the bottom. Now again, depending on your cup, you may only need to break it in half and just put those 2 pieces down. It really depends on the size of your container you're putting these in. Once you have your ladyfingers in the bottom, you're going to go ahead and add your mascarpone filling on top. Then you're going to go ahead and repeat the ladyfingers. And again, I did the same thing. You can tap your cups down as well if you want to spread out the filling a little bit. But again, you're going to take half a ladyfinger, break it in half, put that on top. It really depends on how many layers you want. You could just do 1 layer of ladyfingers, a very large mascarpone filling, and then another layer of ladyfingers, and then top it off with and end with the mascarpone filling. Or you can do like I did, and you can do 3 layers. So it would be ladyfinger filling, ladyfinger filling, ladyfinger filling, and then finish with the filling so you can scrape the top clean. For the top, I like to take the offset spatula, or you can just take the flat side of a knife and scrape it so it's nice and clean and smooth on top. So it has a nice surface to sprinkle some cocoa powder on top. Then, once you have them all nice and ready, you're just going to want to, like I said, sprinkle the cocoa powder on top. You can omit this step if you don't like that, but it is pretty much customary with tiramisu. So I just put my cocoa powder in a fine mesh strainer and just sprinkled it on top to give it a nice little coat. You could always top these with a coffee bean for a little added decoration. It depends on how you're serving them. It's up to you. You can serve these right away, but they are nice to have chilled in the fridge for an hour or so. But if it's like my house, you know, sometimes things want to get eaten right away. So some of these were eaten right away. So it's not a bad thing to eat right away. So I highly recommend you try these. Unless you really don't like the taste of coffee, then I can understand maybe not this being your thing. But if you do like coffee or you don't mind the taste of coffee, I highly recommend making these. It's a pretty easy recipe. So if you've been intimidated by tiramisu, don't give these a try. I don't think you'll regret it. So let me know in the comments what you think of these and what other yummy desserts you would like to see. And as always, live, love, eat sweets.